I really need a new way to be doing this. This is on the webcam. I don't really have any great equipment to use, and I don't think you can hear me very well. I'm going to read, so you're going to see me reading instead of just looking right up at the camera because I didn't really memorize it and there's a lot of information. This week's reading from Multimedia Storytelling for Business Details, Chapter 4 and 5, Understanding Light and Sound and the Importance of Both when Creating Image Production. I really hope you can hear me this week. I know the audio, which I'm going to be talking about, was not very good on my last video shot, my last webcast, but hopefully this will be better this week. I'm not sure if it will be, but I'm hoping. Crossing my fingers. There you go. Media production is based on the reproduction of different forms of energy that travel in waves. Visual media starts with light energy and is the basis for visual media. It has the following two main tasks: technical and aesthetic. Technically, light provides the energy that allows us to reproduce images. Aesthetically, light along with composition reveals truth and lies and creates beauty and ugliness within the frame. This is where artistic mastery comes into play and typically where an experienced media maker can tell the difference between amateur and professional. We consider the issues of light by studying the quantity, quality, direction, color, and source of light. I will talk about the quantity aspect first. Every type of camera and image making material needs a specific amount of light in order to optimally reproduce an image. This is what we call exposure. Exposure means letting light strike an image. To accurately reproduce an image, the frame must be properly exposed by receiving the correct quantity of light. Quantity of light is measured in what we call foot candles. This unit of measure comes from the amount of light produced by a candle, a distance of 1 foot, and can be measured by what is called a light meter. Light meters can either be handheld or built directly into the camera. Then there's contrast. Comparing spot meter readings can help you determine differences in contrast with a frame. Contrast is the comparison between the brightest and darkest elements in the frame. A grayscale chart illustrates contrast by representing the gradations of tone between pure white and pure black. Then there's the quality, the aspect of quality. And the quality of light source has to do with how the light waves travel. Light striking a subject can be hard, producing distinct highlights and sharply defined shadows, or light can be soft, producing subtle highlights and shadows with a less defined edge. This is a separate issue from exposure and contrast, which relate to the overall quantity of light supplied to the camera and the relative amounts of light reflecting off objects within the frame. And then we have direction. This is another way we can create illusion of depth or bringing a two-dimensional object into a 3D world by the use of lighting tactics. A classical formula for lighting is an approach called three-point lighting. Three-point lighting is made up of a key light, a fill light, and a backlight, each having its own purpose. Lighting is an art mastered by keen perception of the world around you. Color. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, the colors of the rainbow, are the colors that form an energy that allows us to see and reproduce visual images. Visible light is energy with a range of wavelengths. A wavelength is the measurement of one full cycle of a wave. When describing color, we often use the characteristics of hue, brightness, and saturation. To reproduce color, two systems are generally used. Additive color mixing and subtractive color mixing are the two components. We also need to take into consideration color temperature. The specific purpose of the wavelength determines the light's color temperature, measured in units called Kelvin. Not Melvin, not Kevin, but Kelvin. And there is a specific formula for determining color temperature, which is K minus 273. This equals the degree of color. Then there are sources of light. Those could be existing, added daylight, artificial, or any other type and brand of instrument like flash, quartz, arc lamps, and specialized fluorescence. Various media requires different treatment of light. It all depends on where you're shooting from. Control of the technical and aesthetic properties of light is a major difference between amateur and professional level productions. Lighting is a science and an art and takes many years of practice to master. Another important aspect of production understands sounds. Sound allows us to hear what people are talking about opposed to reading their words. Sound can give us information about their attitude, mood, geographical location, and age. Audio media, such as radio and audio CDs, can stand alone or be combined with visuals in movies, TV websites, and other interactive media, changing and enriching the experience of visuals alone. Reproducing sound for media production follows a similar process to that of sound transportation in the human ear. Transmitting sound from one location where it is created to another where it is heard, or to saving that sound for playback at a later time requires another step. Sounds need to be converted from one form of energy into another. This is called transduction. This is where microphones come into play, and there are plenty of microphones to choose from. All microphones convert sound vibrations into an electrical signal, but transducing elements inside the microphone vary. There are handheld microphones made to be very close to the user's mouth and are widely used by singers, narrators, and field reporters. They have a limited range of pickup and are rather obtrusive. Lavaliers, or lavs for short, are personal mics that are very unobtrusive and are designed to clip into an individual's clothing. These work well with interview subjects and public speakers who like to move around freely. Shotgun mics, these are the types most widely used in filming movies and videos, are able to capture audio from about 15 feet away. They are great for filming movies and videos because they will not get involved with the shot of the film. When taping audio, there are both analog and digital formats to choose from. Even though digital is flooding the markets, many producers still like to use analog formats for a more natural effect. Many types of audio media. Well, you have radio, of course, then podcasts, which originated from the iPod and refers to radio broadcast or audio blog that can be downloaded or streamed to a personal computer through RSS. There are music recordings, which make up a large portion of the audio-related media that we consume today. And alternative audio, documentaries, field recordings of actualities, like the moves, the natural effects, water running, leaves rustling, and narration film or video cameras what video cameras could never get. In conclusion, mediated sound is a big part of our lives, alone and in combination with images. Despite our culture's visual dominance, effective communication through sound is a very powerful media tool. Stay tuned next week when I bring you chapters 6 and 7. Thank you.